What is up, you guys? I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to come in because I only see my mom and Cotton Candy in here. Some people don't get notifications when people are going to start a live stream until it is started. But today's just a day, man. I'm gonna wait for a bunch of people to join in to start watching. But today's just not very good. What's up, everybody? So, if you guys live in the Spring Hill area, the McDonald's I'm going to be talking about, their address is down in the description. Never go there. Just never go to this McDonald's. There's a reason that the thumbnail is what the thumbnail is. There's a reason the title is what the title is. But just never go there. And I'll start to explain in a little bit what exactly is going on. But it's a day. I'm sorry I'm playing with my goatee right now. It's my way of calming down a little bit. I'm pretty irritated about what happened. So, I feel like this is going to start becoming a trend on my channel, that I'm making videos about a bunch of different companies just messing up a lot. Because it seems like companies just don't care anymore. It seems like companies don't train their employees anymore. It seems like companies don't even train their employees how to treat customers. It doesn't seem like McDonald's itself did it, and it showed itself today that this exact location really doesn't train their employees whatsoever on how to treat a customer. So, not many people... That is so sad, Maria. That is really sad that we live together and you don't notice anything. Well, tonight that could have changed, Cotton Candy. So, hey, Mom. So, many people don't know about this, but I have a food allergy that is a very rare food allergy, actually. Hey, Big Tender. Because, the allergy I have is so rare. It's so rare that even allergists, like allergists, yeah, I was right with the first time. Allergists don't actually they don't keep in stock the only way to test for this allergen. The test for this allergen is actually called an IgG test. It's very rare that they have to use this, so they're also not very experienced in it and using this IgG test. Most allergists will just say, the best way to find out if this is your allergy, is the way I found out about it. And you can grow allergies. After so many years, your body will change and you'll get new allergies. This allergy is also in so many products nowadays that it's very hard to avoid this allergen. I have to avoid a lot of different products now since I've had this allergy for 2 or 3 years now. And I've done great at avoiding it. And I'm allergic to blue food dye, artificial blue food dye. So anything that contains blue food dye, I cannot come in contact with at all. And as many people already know, is blue dye is in like everything nowadays. Blue food dye is in body washes, in deodorants, in clothes detergent, food, drinks, medication, pharmaceuticals of all types. And when you have this allergy, it really changes your life when you gain this allergy later in life. For me, I've always loved blue raspberry drinks, blue everything. And because of me having this allergy, I always keep Benadryl liquid gel, free of dye, on me. I actually have in my wallet, which is in my truck right now, 3 of these. So because I have this horrible allergy, I have to keep these on me. And I also have prescription grade, epinephrine grade level, Benadryl pills that I was prescribed. So if I'm home and I somehow come in contact with my allergy of blue food dye, I have to take these pills. and these Benadryl, they're actually very strong Benadryls. They're the maximum strength Benadryls you can buy. They're not cheap either, unfortunately, because they're prescription strength. And I've avoided this allergen since I've got it. When I found out I actually had this allergy, was the worst thing. I would not wish this upon even my worst enemy. I felt like I was on fire when I found out, when I started to have this allergy. So I always drink blue Gatorades and Powerades when I would work out. And one day, I went to the park, which is 3 miles from my house, and I always walked there. And then I would walk an additional 3 miles around the park, and then the 3 miles back home. The total of 9 miles. The total of 9 miles would take me about 2 hours, 3 hours to do. And when I would do this walk, I felt amazing. You know, I loved going out, having my walks. I still do them. But now I can't have the blue Powerade I would always get myself on my way to the park. And I'd keep them at home. As I would walk the park, I'd buy another one while I was there drinking it. And so that was the day that I started to find out about my allergy. I came home, took a shower, and I always used Axe body wash, which contains blue dye. Well, my laundry detergent contained blue dye. So my clothes would always have blue dye in it, contained into the fabric itself. And the only way to get it out is continuously washing it without any dye. So with the dye, I took a shower. When I was doing my walk, while I was walking in the park, my back and shoulders started to feel like I was on fire. And the reason I thought that was at the time was I also have eczema. So my knees break out, my elbows break out really bad, my back sometimes will break out into a bad eczema rash. So So I thought it was that at first. And then I came home and took a shower using my blue Axe body wash. And when I got out of my shower, I just felt 100 times worse. So I laid in bed. I felt so bad. My stomach was turning. I was vomiting. And it was getting worse. The pain on my back and my shoulders was getting worse and worse and worse. So I had to be rushed to the hospital when I started to have my throat swelling up. I started to not be able to breathe. And that's when I realized I'm allergic to something. I don't know what at this point. Well, if anybody's ever had an epinephrine shot in the hospital, you know where those shots go. Not somewhere you want to get a shot, that's for sure. And it's never just one shot you're getting. They actually have to give you a couple shots. It's 2 shots into your butt, and they hurt. They numb you. The shots actually will cause numbness in your legs, so you can't drive after getting the shots. I've had to get the shot twice. It's 1 in each cheek, so you can't sit, you can't do nothing except for lay on your stomach. And you're in agonizing pain. The first shot is a epinephrine itself, and then a Zofran shot as well. And it's a combined epinephrine and Zofran shot. So they give you 2 of these shots into your butt, and you're still going to be in agonizing pain for hours and hours. And trust me, I don't cry much unless I'm really mad. That's why I kind of look like I'm crying right now. It's because I'm really mad. And the first time I went to the hospital, I had to stay there for several hours in the hospital bed, face down, like position where my arms were like this, so my shoulders weren't touching the bed because my shoulders were in bad hives. I still, till this day, have a picture on my phone of the hives I had from that day. And it literally looked like on my body, somebody decided they wanted to do Braille on my back. Like, a blind person could have walked up to me and started reading my back. That's how bad it was. And, so, I got the shot. Stayed there for a couple hours. The pain started to go away 2-3 hours later. And I went home. And when I went home, we started thinking, what could I be allergic to? The hospital said, there's a long list of things that could have caused this allergen. What did you do any different than any other day? Well, my response was nothing. Everything I did is everything I do on a daily basis, pretty much. Well, with that being said, I knew I had no way of knowing exactly what caused it. Excuse me. So the hospital said, well, the only way to figure out what it could be is change your routine every day. For the next several days, do one thing different every day than you normally do. So cancel one thing you always do out. The first thing I canceled out was using the body wash and everything I was doing. And so the blue dye allergy I had was the only thing we could think of. We canceled everything else out. Everything I would do on a daily basis other than drinking and ingesting and having anything to do with blue dyes. We got rid of everything else. For another couple days, I did nothing but doing the blue dye. And I was taking every day, I would be taking a couple drinks of blue. I would take a shower using the blue body wash, and then I would keep breaking out into hives. So we said, you know what, it's got to be the blue. I would take my medicine, and then 20-30 minutes later be fine again. That's the only way that an allergist really said that you can find out this food allergy. So I was like, you know what? We determined it's that. That's what it is. And I've avoided it. There's been a couple times since where I've came in contact with, by accident, of blue dye because my job. And I'd start to break out in hives. And like I said, I keep these with me when I go to work. And I pop a couple of them in. And I'd be fine a little later. So we know it's a blue dye allergy I have. My oldest sister has the same allergy I have to blue dye, but hers is more advanced than mine. Hers will kill her within an hour. Mine will kill me over time. It will take longer for it to kill me, but it can kill me because my throat will start to swell up a few hours later. My sister, it does it pretty rapidly too. So today, I did nothing different than any other day. I went and did everything I had to do. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about the blue dye. You can actually be allergic to any dyes, any artificial dyes, because it's a chemical that they use to make the dye. I can't remember the exact name of the blue dyes chemicals, but there's something in the blue dyes that I'm allergic to. And you can Google, like, what is used to make blue food dye, what's used to make red food dye, and you can be allergic to any of those dyes. And it's very rare for somebody to have it. A lot of people assume it's a sensitivity, but sensitivity causes being gassy, vomiting, upset stomach, diarrhea, and but it doesn't cause hives. Well, I'm gonna get to that cotton candy because what I'm trying to say is leading towards what happened today. Yeah, it is a very rare thing. And when I tell people that, they're like, it's dye. How could you be allergic to it? And it's a chemical. Your body doesn't like chemicals. So when you have an allergy to something that your body doesn't like, it's really just your body saying, hey man, we shouldn't be putting chemicals in us. It's gonna kill you. And it can kill you, even if you're not allergic to it. If you think about it, chemicals kill people. And in 1960, the U.S. Congress actually determined that any product that has an artificial dye in it, the packaging has to say, these have no dye in it, so the package doesn't say any dye in it. But I have nothing in my room right now that contains dyes, because I try to avoid dyes at all. And since then, I've been feeling better. I avoid as many dyes as possible. I've lost weight from not using dyes and everything, eating dyes. I felt better. I feel better. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a vegan or anything. I just avoid artificial food dyes because of, hey Patricia and everybody else, I'm just, trying to get. And yeah, it's something that's really scary to know that what they're putting in our food and our detergents and everything else in this world could kill you. But I mean, I personally kind of can't eat just plants, I personally couldn't do it. But I have lost a lot of weight from not eating artificial dyes and as much as possible. And I use all free and clear body laundry soap, all natural body washes. Actually, I have a friend who makes soaps that have no chemicals in them. It's all natural made soaps, and that's what I use to shower and everything, to avoid the dyes and chemicals as much as possible. And so I've lost weight, but I'm gaining muscles from working all the time. And yeah, I'm allergic to bees and wasps. Amoxicillin I'm allergic to, and that's the other reason I had the penicillin shot for the second time I got it, was because I had strep throat several months ago and went to the hospital, was prescribed amoxicillin, and the next morning had to go to get epinephrine shots because my throat was closing up really bad. I was having hives on my back, like when I was with the blue food dye allergy, and I got really sick. So I just completely stopped taking the meds, got put onto something else. But I had a lot of stuff they had to do to prevent me from becoming in contact with it again. And I avoid stuff as much as I can when I find out that it's going to harm me. I do stuff that can harm me. I do it. Like, stuff I do at my job could harm me, but I do it because that's the type of worker I am. But when it comes to the fact of food and clothing and all that, I try to avoid as much as I can that could harm me, because it hurts a lot. It literally feels like somebody just poured gallons and gallons of gas on you and just lit you on fire. Like, if you lay in your bed, it feels like somebody just lit your bed on fire. You sit any certain way, you feel like you're on fire. So I avoid blue dye because of it, and it hurts so bad. And I don't cry when I get hurt, really, ever. I get mad and I'll scream and yell. Oh, man, I didn't want to open, apparently. I'll scream and yell and get mad and walk it off. I've sprained my ankles, both of my ankles, several times. I actually had a class 4 sprain in my right ankle in my senior year. And I didn't cry at all. I just screamed and said, "What the?" And walked away and got over it. And so I've been avoiding all that. I don't cry, but I cried like a little baby when I found out I was allergic to blue dye. And my mom can contest to that. I cried like a little baby in that hospital bed. And I cried even worse when they gave me that shot, because that stuff hurt even worse than the back pain I was having. But it just stopped after I got the medicine a couple hours after. So I avoid it. But today, I went to McDonald's to get my older sister food because she was hungry, and she asked me to go to McDonald's and get her some food, and said, get yourself a frappe as well. And I love chocolate chip frappes. So I went, I ordered all the food that my sister asked me to order for her. I ordered my chocolate chip frappe, and the lady at the cash register, one, she apparently could not count worth a darn, because she gave me like 30 cents extra in change, and I was like, how can you not count to 93? It's 3 quarters, a dime. No, yeah, 3 quarters, a dime, a nickel, and 3 pennies. How do you mess that up? She gave me 4 quarters. That's $1. In case you didn't know, 4 quarters equals $1, a dime, and 3 pennies. So she gave me $1.13 back in just change on top of the bills. And I was just like, how do you mess that up? How? Then I go over to the door, the window, the pickup window for getting my food, because I went through the drive-thru. They hand me my 2 frappes. I hand them both to my mom, and I then went to grab mine and take a sip. I took 1 sip, and as I was taking the sip, I looked at the cup and I went, why do I see colors? I see a rainbow in my cup. And I lift it up into the air above my head, and I look at the bottom. Their bottom is full of M&Ms. M&Ms have blue. So the moment I'm sitting there, well, before that, the lady that is running the window, right after she hands me my, when your drawer is short in companies here in Florida, you yourself have to pay the short. And but she hands me the drinks, and I hand them to Mom. The lady at the window goes, "What did you order?" Well, I go, "Well, you have a screen right there in front of you telling you what I ordered." But I tell her, what I ordered and everything. And she walks away, leaves the window open. And that's when I took the sip. And as soon as I saw the blue, the M&Ms in there, I just lay on my horn, blaring the horn. Because at this point, I'm getting mad. I don't get why there would be M&Ms in a chocolate chip frappe. It took about 3 minutes of me blaring the horn for the lady to finally come back to the window. And I asked for the manager. Immediately said, "I need your manager right now." The manager walks up to me. Josh. It's Josh, my sister said. And I hand him back the cup and I said, "This needs to be remade now." He says, "What's wrong with it?" And I said, "Look at the bottom of that cup and tell me what frappe you know that has colors in it." And he says, "I don't see what the problem is." I go, "That's M&Ms. That is not a chocolate chip frappe. I ordered a chocolate chip frappe and I'm allergic to blue dye and that can kill me. Now remake my frappe." And this is where I start to get really, really freaking mad. He turned around towards me and said, "Oh, you'll be fine. Drink it anyway." And I said, "No, I will not. I cannot drink that, and you need to remake my frappe properly." And he said, "It doesn't matter. It's a chocolate-based product. The chocolate part is not the issue. It is the issue of the color, the food dye. I cannot have the food dye." And he says, "You'll be fine. Get the F word out of my drive-thru or I'm calling the cops." As he's holding the cup that has the M&Ms in it that would have made me really sick and die. So I get really freaking mad. And he decides every employee in the damn restaurant, other than one manager, should sit next to this window and just call the cops on me. So I decide, you know what? You don't want to give me my merchandise that I paid for? You don't want to give me my money back? That's theft of services. I'm not moving my vehicle. I parked my vehicle right there and stayed there. I called corporate while I was sitting at that drive-thru. The total time I was on the phone with corporate was 30 minutes. I sat in the drive-thru window for 30 minutes. But this is what's worse. He had told every single one of his employees that they need to go tell all the other customers to block my car in to the drive-thru. And not only block my vehicle in, but as they're driving by, say that me and my mom are meth addicts. Say that friggin' I'm a POS, that I'm a lowlife, that it's a burger. Why are you complaining about your burger you didn't get? It wasn't even a burger that was the issue. And to repetitively talk trash as they would open either window in front of me and behind me. The cash window is behind me and their second drive-thru open window is in front of me. That right there got me really mad. I did not have my phone out. I was on the phone. I use my phone to record. Every video I record is on my phone. And so I sat there and I was just waiting, watching them have customers block my vehicle in. Blocking me. Then I'm blocked in. I can't leave. I can't do anything. I'm stuck where I am. And I start to get really mad. And where my vehicle is parked, I can't get out because they're having vehicles parked behind me, they're having vehicles parked to my passenger side, and they're having vehicles parked in front of me. And then on the passenger side, they would then have a second vehicle parked on the right side of that vehicle as well. So it was two wide, one forward, one, and then the rest of the upcoming customers behind me. To the point where I cannot get my vehicle out of the parking lot. My oldest sister that paid for the food had to call the store. Had to call the store several times before she would actually get a manager that wasn't the guy that was doing this, and just making it where I'm stuck where I am. And so I was stuck where I was. Me and my mom are getting really mad because the guy literally pretty much threatened to try to kill me by saying I could just drink the frappe that I had. And so I was mad. And I have bipolar anger issues. So when I get mad, I cry, and I can do some stuff that I don't want to do and don't realize I'm doing. Well, so I just start screaming and yelling and getting really mad. My vehicle's blocked in. Me and my mom, neither one of us can exit my vehicle at all. I'm all the way to the wall, pretty much. And there's vehicles all the way to my mom's door in the passenger side. And because I was pinned in all directions, there's nothing I could do at this point. I'm trapped. And they're telling customers to repetitively come out and scream and yell at me and my mom, calling me and my mom that we're meth addicts, to go hit the pipe again. And nobody in my family does that stuff. We don't mess with drugs like that. That's not something that I would ever want to do, nor have the need to do. And I got really mad, and I wanted to break the window of the drive-thru, to be honest, and just rip the employee that was just sitting there. They had an employee just sitting there laughing and recording me through the drive-thru window. I wanted to break that window because on my keychain I have a window breaker. I wanted so bad to break that window and grab her phone and bash it and run it the hell over with my truck and just do so much stuff and just pull every employee out of that window that I could and just bash their heads in so bad. But I couldn't, because I'm trapped in my vehicle. So I couldn't even get out to bust the window or anything. And so I'm still on the phone with corporate office, and corporate ends up telling me, you know what, we'll have the owners association contact you as soon as possible. And I said, well, either way, I'm not happy. I'm never coming back here. Well, finally, my sister Angel gets through to the manager that isn't the guy that was being really rude and disrespectful. And she comes and made my frappe. And when she came to the window, and she was like, what exactly happened? I have no idea what happened. I've been in the back of this back office dealing with other stuff I've had to deal with. And I explained to her, I'm highly allergic to blue dye, and your employees were too lazy. Because when the guy took my shake, my frappe, um, the other customer, uh, employee, that originally handed me my frappe, started yelling, "Oh, I need chocolate chips up here," because of me complaining about the issue I had. And that's when I realized, well, they belligerently, intentionally used N&Ms because the fact that the lady was too damn lazy to walk 30 feet, if that, to go grab more chocolate chips from the back of the restaurant, before coming back and making my shake the right way. And, the fact that he had the audacity to tell me, order something you know. I ordered something I knew. A chocolate chip frappe. And, so I was like, what do you mean order something I know? I ordered something I know. A chocolate chip frappe, not a N&M frappe. They don't even sell N&M frappes. Look it up. Where have you ever seen in a McDonald's an N&M frappe? They don't sell them. And they have caramel, mocha, and chocolate chip. That's their only three. And no, the lady in the back, she wasn't. They don't look at their cameras at all times. She was doing other stuff she had to do because it was the end of her shift. It was towards the end of her shift, so she was counting down everything and getting ready to go home when it was going on. And the guy was just telling me, order something you know. I did, and your employees negligently made something I did not order. So they're recording me laughing and everything on the inside of the restaurant, and I get really mad. And my mom's already mad. She's got heart issues. They're making everything way worse. And all I asked for was my frappe to be properly made. I'm not going to leave without, getting something I paid for in some way, shape, or form. At least get my money back or get my frappe. I'm not going to leave and not get my merchandise I paid for or my money. That's not how it works. You can't take somebody's stuff and not give them their money back because you were a rude POS and that made them get mad because you were rude to a customer. All I asked for was it to be remade and told him that is not how it ever should be made. I don't care. And then he turns around and says it's not illegal. It is actually considered aggravated assault. I could press charges on every employee in that store, in that restaurant, for aggravated assault. Because it's aggravated assault because they did something that could have potentially led to a death. Without knowing, so it's not attempted murder or attempted homicide or anything. It's aggravated assault. And he was getting really mad. And finally, the other manager that my sister got on the phone with came to the window and handed me my frappe made the right way. I watched her make it herself. So I knew none of the other rude, disrespectful POSs had a chance to even touch it. And she goes, "Can you explain what happened?" And I told her, I'm allergic to blue dye, and they used N&Ms to make a chocolate chip frappe. Well, she said they're not supposed to do that. That's not our policy. Our policy is you get more chocolate chips if you run out in the front. I said, well, common sense, because you don't know what you're giving a customer's allergies are. I could order triple bacon cheeseburger from there and say no onions because I'm allergic to them, and you give me onions and I die, and in turn that is your fault. Well, what's going to determine if there will be a lawsuit is if corporate ever gets back to me. If corporate doesn't get back to me, I will contact a lawyer and start the process of pressing charges and suing McDonald's. Yeah, I mean, it's not the fact of, it's the fact that I'm not money hungry. I'm not worrying about the money. I'm worrying about these rude POS people being gone. But if it takes a lawsuit to get them fired because McDonald's doesn't want to get back to me, I'm giving McDonald's a couple days to get back to me. If they don't get back to me within a couple days via email or telephone, I will start the process to sue. And my lawsuit will be pretty hefty, and if I win, that'll lead to them being fired in the end, because a company's not going to keep somebody that made them lose a couple $1,000,000, because I'm going to sue for a couple mil. And if you're gonna do something like this, I don't personally have it on camera. McDonald's has cameras, so everything that happened is on camera on McDonald's end. If I end up having to get a lawyer, the lawyer will get the cameras. If they do not give the cameras, it's whatever, because that's just going to show, more or less that they know they're in the wrong. And exactly, and that's the thing, it's very bad to just make something and say it's no big deal, because it doesn't matter what it is. It's what it is. And you can't fight somebody and tell them they'll be fine when they're telling you something you sold to them that is made wrong. To start it off, you made it improperly, and you could have killed them because you gave them something that they're allergic to because you made something not how they ordered it. It's not my fault. You have no right to scream and yell at me and tell me to get the F out of your parking lot, and tell me I'm in the wrong. And it's not right, And then after I got the proper frappuccino, the proper frappe, I come home. I leave. I finally got a hold to leave, but the only way I could leave is unfortunately having to peel out in between the little space of a hole they gave the two other customers that gave me. I peeled out, got my truck right into the hole. I drifted, got out, and left. And unfortunately, because I left, and they don't want me there anymore. I do have a trespass against me now. I'm no longer allowed to go to the McDonald's on Four Corners. If you live in the Spring Hill area, you know exactly what McDonald's that is. If you live anywhere in Florida, and you don't ever want to go to this McDonald's, if you're ever in Florida in the Hernando County area, and you don't want to go there, it is in the description, the exact address for this for that McDonald's that this happened at. And it it's crazy that they try to blame me. And they told me, the cop told me when he got here to give me the trespass warrant that states I'm no longer welcome or allowed to the McDonald's. That they claim that they did nothing at all in the wrong. That I just started screaming and yelling and wouldn't leave their parking lot. Well, how do you expect me to leave your parking lot if you're blocking me? If you're having customers block me, you're having other customers screaming, yelling at me, and I mean, I pay you for a product. You don't just do that to somebody, and it's just wrong to treat anybody like that, especially a customer that paid for what they ordered and you messed up. The only person in that restaurant at all that would own up to their mistake was the manager. I do not know her name. My sister Angel did get her name though. I did not. And it was just crazy that you know, some rude, disrespectful POS was to threaten me. He literally threatened me and told me to drink something that would kill me, that I'd be fine. I could have drank that, not seeing the M&Ms in it, drove, and me and Omar actually had plans to go do some stuff tonight that I ended up telling Omar, I'm sorry, I can't, I just can't, I'm too aggravated to go and do anything outside of my house, because one little thing might trigger me to go really insane on somebody. If me and him went dumpster diving or anything and somebody made me upset or mad, I might have just snapped and probably badly injured somebody. And not only that, but if I would have drank the shake, not the frappe, not knowing that it had the blue dye in it, I could have been driving to go hang out with Omar, or driving home from hanging out with Omar, and passed out and passed away at the wheel and killed an unknown amount of people. And I mean, there's, you know, the chance of killing somebody if you do give them something they're allergic to, because you didn't make their product right, you didn't make their food right. And it's not like, you know, I ordered what they gave me. And it's wrong to sit there and blame me for not ordering it right. Well, and say it was my fault for ordering something I didn't know. I knew what I ordered. I've ordered it hundreds of times and never had an issue. I've had so many issues at this location though previously, but I had to go to that location no matter what, because it's the only location in the route that I was coming from what I was previously doing beforehand. And I mean, the other instances I've had, I've kept calm, you know, had no issues getting it fixed. I mean, there was one time where I ordered bacon cheeseburgers when my nephew was born a month ago, almost 2 months ago. I ordered everybody some food because we were all staying at the hospital with my sister pretty much. And I ordered bacon cheeseburgers, and there was no bacon on them on my bacon cheeseburgers. So I called the manager that was working. I actually knew her and talked to her, and she said, "Yeah, just come in and I'll make you some new burgers." I got there, and somehow the same cook managed to 2 times in a row forget to put bacon on my food. I called her back and was like, you know what, I'm not driving back out there. I'm trying to be with my sister. And I explained to her everything, and she was like, yeah, just come on in whenever you can. She actually told me what day she would be working at the time. And I went back on a day that she was working and got my food made right. And had no issues, but it's not right that, because you guys as a company are messing up, that the customers have to pay. Because the issue that it comes down to, I understand why some managers get mad or upset when mistakes are made. When mistakes are made, it affects their numbers. It's called numbers, like how good their store is doing. And if your store's not doing that good, they actually take money out of your manager's bonus when your numbers get low to counteract the mistakes that were made and the cost. It'll cut into your bonus. So I understand if you get a little upset, but that's not how you should be to the customer. You should be like that towards your employees. Excuse me. Because your employees are the ones that are making the mistakes. And and your employees are the ones that are not doing the right thing. And if you're getting mad with them and telling them, if you don't straighten your act, we're going to have to, either let you go or start deducting from your pay, 90% of the time, the employee is going to straighten up and start doing their job. Because nobody wants to lose their job where they work. I mean, if you got bills, you don't want to lose your job, at least. And on top of that, you don't want somebody to be deducting your pay either, because it's the same reason. Excuse me. But I mean, it was just all around wrong, and it really upsetted me and my mom, and honestly, my whole family was really, really irritated and mad, because that's not how it should have went. It was wrong how it went, but you lose some, you win some. I'm already in contact with corporate. If they don't do something about it and they don't take care of me how I want to be taken care of from this issue, well, I'll be seeing somebody from McDonald's in court. So, but it's, they already did contact the cops. I'm trespassed from there. I'm giving them a chance to deal with it without the court system, because I know how court works. You open a court case and it takes forever to settle. But most companies, the way they want to deal with everything is outside of the courthouse. So I'm giving them a chance to take care of it without a judge and a bunch of news knowing. I am going to leave this YouTube video up. I am giving them a couple days to get a hold of me. They have until Tuesday morning. Otherwise, I will contact a lawyer, and I will make sure that they see what they need to see. They're gonna see you don't mess with people because you don't know what you're messing with at all. And you don't know what's going to come of it. You want to respect customers. I'm not saying, the customer's always right, but, I mean, you don't want to tell the customer to go F off because your company's employees messed up. I ain't mess up. I ordered a chocolate chip frappe. And I actually have the receipt that shows a chocolate chip frappe, not a N&M frappe. So to tell me, oh, well, it's a chocolate-based product, so get over it, well, there's not just get over it. That's going to kill somebody, so you can't do that. No, that's not okay. You don't want to treat a customer right. I guess I'll see you in court if you don't want to let your company, if your company doesn't want to deal with it the right way. Unfortunately, I will take it to court if it comes down to it. I don't want to take it to court if I don't have to, but I don't have an issue with, taking it to court if McDonald's doesn't want to do what I need them to do for me to not take it in front of the court and not get the news into it and not get, them really seeing the wrath of God, because that's what it will come down to, is the wrath of God will drop on them for what they did. So, but it's how it's gonna have to be. I do have to go though. I have to bring my sister to her job in 4 minutes. So I love you guys. Peace.